Candoco Dance Company's In Dialogue programme is a series of ongoing conversations with changemakers, verbal, physical, visual explorations that question what it is to be an artist, what words and actions can do as part of an evolving art form. On Being an Artist is the outcome of 2 days of discussion, interrogation and exchange between Marc Brew, Caroline Bowditch, Claire Cunningham, Vicky Malin and Kate Marsh, following the Unlimited 2014 festival at Southbank Centre, London. The 2014-15 In Dialogue programme is curated by guest artist Luke Pell. So the first thing I want to ask you is, what is it that you're looking for when you're in the studio and also with the people that you work with on stage?
Is my movement language interesting on other people? There aren't many people moving like I move now, and of course every spinal cord injury is different. It affects everybody differently. So I just started exploring my own movement again, out of the chair, with the chair, how the chair can be used in different ways, how it can be turned upside down, back to front, and how I could then work with other dancers of other physicalities and diversity, and how they would then take that and make it their own. And I went through that journey of I didn't want them to sort of pretend that they were disabled or pretend that they were being me, but I wanted to see if you use that as a starting point or as a source, how do you then embody that and keep that aesthetic but making it your own? So now in the studio I very much use a whole mix of all of that, of tasks that are sort of built around the sort of vision and the idea and the concept of the work, to then offering material of phrases and motifs that I've created that were from my starting point.
Can we just go back to you said something about how you move now. How would you describe how you move now? I assume you were saying that in contrast to how you moved before?
Along my journey, I have explored the movement, the aesthetic that I've always been sort of interested in regards to line and placement and clarity of movement and shape and form, to now my body and the sort of the that's what I call the brokenness or the uncomfortable or the shifting and how the functionality of how I need to use my hands to move my legs and the sort of reality, the realism of that, using function, not pretending. You are very much a choreographer. You direct others and also yourself. Where does that come from? The sort of dance training that I had, it was very traditional dance training. So there was always the teacher at the front telling us, directing us what to do, always working with other choreographers who directed us through, whether it was, learning their material or tasks that were given. So I think it's those innate things that you learn as a dancer that are embedded in you as a dancer that are sometimes hard to break out of.
As an artist, how do you know that you found what it is that you're asking of your...
Yeah, that's a really hard thing. It's a really hard thing to pinpoint what it is, and I think all I can say is instinct, relying on it, which is a really scary thing, and to rely on that gut feeling. I sort of, in the opposite of that, I sort of can know what I don't like.
Okay.
So it's okay, that doesn't work, or that's not doing it for me, or that's not what I was looking for. So I just keep searching and searching until that's it.
You work at a scale which is really impressive. The piece that you made with Damon and Glennie and the piece with Candoco were kind of large scale, and you kind of come from that background of working with large companies. But as an independent artist at the moment, you're not really funded, and as somebody who's again sometimes cited as a lead, often cited as a leader within the sector, what's the weight of that for you?
This is what I have a passion about, and that's what drives me, and it's a really interesting thing. Sometimes I wish I had, or could live a different life where it could be very separate, but my life is my work. Hopefully that doesn't sound too sad, but I love that investigation, I love that exploring, and for me, I've always had that thing of there are so many pieces within me that I want to create, and is there enough time to create them all?